Hello, everyone, and welcome to Talledega Super Speedway for the Alabama 200. It's going to be a great race tonight. Super Speedway racing, you never know who can win. I mean, we've had some surprise winners here over the past few years, past few seasons, excuse me. I know Frank Fodi has came away with the win, but we also have our regular heavy hitters running up here at the front. We've seen Tyler win races here, and lots of guys can win this race. Anybody in the field can win this race. And joining me in the booth tonight, as always, is James Watson. Dave is at the controls. We even have William White, who's hoping for an easy night at race control. Guys, what do you think we're going to see out here tonight?
A lot of chaos. Let's be real. This is Talladega. We know how Talladega races go. We know that we love Talladega races because of how Talladega races go, especially since this is the last race in the regular season before the playoffs start. So you have guys trying to make sure they have enough points to make sure they're in, or the guys outside of the points trying to get that golden ticket in. So things are going to get pretty interesting here in Alabama.
What about you, Dave? Any thoughts from you tonight before we get
No,
this thing popped?
I think James took all the expectations, cutoff rate, chaos, all the above.
And William, no calls from race control tonight. We're going caution free, right?
I'm hoping for none of what Dave and James said. If these lot behave themselves, I can be in bed by 2 o'clock. So that's my plan: is just sit back and admire the racing and hopefully lend my voice just a handful of times to the broadcast, rather than worry about making calls every 5 laps. But it's a cut-off race at Talladega. There are a lot of people within half a dozen of the bubble, so I think it's going to get manic, especially towards the end. And I'm ready, anxious, but I'm ready.
Well, and with that, I think we're going to do some race picks. James, we'll start with you. Who is your pick to win this thing?
I'm gonna go and pick Paul Mikolajczyk. I think Paul might be able to get the job done here. Full on officially lock himself into the playoffs. You know, he's going to have some big help with his Channel 199 teammates of Cutlip, Reynolds, etc. So they're going to be doing what they can to try to make sure Paul's in a good position to get into the playoffs.
Dave, who do you have to win this race tonight?
I'm going to pick somebody who has to win to get in, so give me Tate Lytle.
And William, who's your pick?
I'm going to go, not necessarily left field as such. I'm pretty sure it's a Super Speedway win at Atlanta. I believe it was in this very series. I'm going to go for the number 6, Justin Wadsworth. A little bit of an abstract pick, but he knows how to win at these places. I think he'll get it done.
That is a great pick. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go out on a limb here. And I am going to pick Gerald Campbell to get this win tonight. I think he's going to get it done, find his way back to victory lane, mostly just because I want to talk to him. I haven't talked to him in a while. We haven't gotten the interview for a while. And, you know, Gerald's always fun to talk to. But as these guys roll around here, coming towards the green flag, just real quick here, I know we haven't went over starting positions, and that's because, as we all know, starting doesn't really matter here. That'll all change in about a lap. But nonetheless, we will give Tyler Fodi his due here for winning the pool. Jonathan Cutlip's up there, Tommy Ryan, Ethan Burrell, Thomas Coonan. There's Paul Mikolajczyk right there. Jeff Ryan, Tate Lytle, Jake and Josh Adams, and you got Wadsworth. Some guys at the back that should be fun to watch are, everybody is Talladega boys.
Bigger story is who didn't get in. Matthew
Yes,
Weeks did
sir.
not make the cut. Gavin Higgins did not make
Pace car is off. Green is out. Double file as they hit for turn 1. The push up the top's a little bit better.
I believe you're correct about that, Dave, because I didn't hear a thing about that. And I know I was paying attention this time.
Yeah, they heard it on
Which
the
is a rarity
broadcast, but
for
they
me.
didn't hear. You guys didn't hear it in Discord, so I was pointing out that we did not make the race. I think maybe Chad let him in. I do see more people on the track now. So
Yep,
initially they were on the
there they
outside,
are.
and then I think Chad.
I think
made
they
them.
start from the pits.
So we ended up starting 44, I believe.
Well, that's interesting.
Gavin Higgins, Kendall Player,
Sure is.
Jaden Racimus, and Brent Jones. I think it was also because they allowed Hunter Smith to join today.
Well, I see
I
Goody didn't
love
make
that.
it, and he's going to go watch the Brewers, he said. We're still
As
double
a-
wide, boys. Not much has changed. Oh, here we go, Tate Lytle. As I say that, Tate says, let me go to the top of 3, and then, well, he's got no friends.
Yeah, he's going to the back. Also, let me go ahead and put in an obligatory Go Brewers. Save us from the evil Dodgers, please. Please.
Well, you know, unfortunately, I'm here in Ohio, and the Reds, well, they got to play in the postseason, but not really.
I'm a lifelong Giants fan, so yeah. And it also explains why I really don't want to see the Dodgers do anything. But as we see, that third lane is finally starting to get some cars in it. The energy's starting to build here.
Yeah, they've got 3 good guys now with
Oi.
Ethan, Tate, and Crump.
Tommy was looking below the line a little bit. I don't know if there was a little bit of checkup from Fody, but that got a little sketchy to see. But yeah, already the aggression starting to pick up. They're in a hurry to get things done, and they rush until life's no
Oh,
fun.
the 77 and the 40 bounce off each other. I think the 5 got clear, and the 77 was what we call tunnel vision when we're out there on the racetrack, is when you're just following the guy in front of you, and very lucky to get away with that one.
Yes, sir. And there was your obligatory lyrics quote from the band Alabama for tonight's Alabama 200.
Anybody playing a fiddle out here?
I could try. You don't want to hear it, but I could try.
Well, one thing I do know is that top lane, it is building some momentum. But as guys get clear and pull to the bottom, that's going to open up that second lane to push hard. Oh, Cutlip moved to the bottom, then back to the top. Really going to stall out that middle lane. 77 tries to go to the top of 3. Josh goes underneath him. And now we're 3 by 3 there. Oh, contact on that bottom side again. You do not want a push going bad up towards the front of the field that causes a wreck, because there's nowhere for you to go about 5th on back if somebody gets turned at 2nd or 3rd.
Yep. The last thing we want to see is a recreation of the of that big old wreck that happened here in the Cup race back in 2012.
I believe there was some surfing done that race.
Yeah. To think we were this close to getting a Casey Mears or a Michael Waltrip win. Curse you, Tony.
Yeah, instead we ended up with, I think, Matt Kenseth won that day.
He sure did.
Right now we've got Tommy Ryan out front with a push from Tyler Fody. Fody pushes him hard down into 3. Pulls back to the bottom. Now we're going to see a lot of strategies here today, James. We're going to see a lot of guys try to stay at the front, a lot of guys try to stay at the back. What is your game plan at a super speedway race like this? Especially, I believe this is full distance as well. It is not full distance? I thought it was.
It's close. It's still 200 miles, so this is a long race. Honestly, I never really go in with a plan because it's hard to make a plan, especially for me, because for whatever reason, I am dookie when it comes to qualifying at the plate tracks. Like, I don't know what it is, but I cannot qualify well at Daytona or Talledega. I am always mid-pack at best. So when it comes to that, you don't really have a whole lot of option in your favor. You know, you either be aggressive and try to work your way to the front, or you just go back to the back, hope that there's a massive pile up that you miss, and get yourself track position that way. What I do tend to do is what I've done lately is I've tried to make it to where I work my way up towards the front-ish, and then save as much fuel as I can. That way I could use the shorter pit stop of having to take less fuel and get myself track position that way. You know, saving a couple gallons or so of fuel is worth so many positions on pit road, since obviously we're not taking tires here at Talledega. So it's all about fuel. So the less fuel you have to put in, the better your pit stop is going to be. And that's kind of your, I don't want to say golden ticket, because I don't think that quite fits it, but that's your best bet to manufacture that track position for you. We see 3 wide. Everyone on back. There is no real sense of just riding around and turning laps here already. We see your race leader right now, Tommy Ryan, holding on to the top spot. Cutlip to the outside, pulling that second lane with him. And can't quite make out who that is leading the third lane. I think that might be Ethan Burrell. As we lost our play-by-play man. I think Chris is, yeah, he's having issues. So everyone's stuck with hearing me. Yay! See Harrison Talon starting. Whoa, that's a big move up to the top side. That is some aggression right now. It's like the 45 of Ultra.
Been 3 wide for a while now, and they're just about to catch their first back marker of the evening. Just about a third way through the first stage, Harrison Talon, whose deck lid we look from now. 3 abreast, right up at the front. We saw Tommy Ryan make a move to the outside to what I presume is now the middle lane, around the outside of Tyler Foti, a lane that he now controls by himself. Foti now fighting back with the help from Thomas Coonan on the low side. He will clear. Ryan will come back down the hill, so Foti not clear. But they now come to Harrison Talon, who's going to stay low. They all, in complete synchronization, all shimmy up about a car width and get around Harrison Talon with very minimal issues so far.
Yeah,
bit dicey as they go 4.
Yeah, they're going 4 wide, trying to get through Harry. Harry's doing a great job just holding position, letting everyone go by. Oh, but that has to be terrifying, not only for the whole field, but for Harry as well. He's just like, get away, guys. I'm just trying to survive.
Now he's embedded nicely into the field. He's obviously up to speed now, having got all that draft from being overtaken. He now finds himself slotted in 1 lap down in the lucky dog position, actually doing quite well for himself. If this goes green for a while longer, they'll eventually catch Matthew Weeks and David Tucker, who ride in tandem 41st and 42nd just in front of them. They're about 20 seconds up the road on their relatives, so about 7 or so laps before they catch up, and presuming no yellow. And Harrison Talon should, in theory, go flying past those two, as he's already embedded in the pack around about P15, albeit 1 lap down. So the quest to get back on the lead lap looks good for Harrison right now.
Yeah, he's going to need that caution, though, and hope to heck or high water that he is not involved in said caution. And Oh boy, it's probably brewing. It's just so nerve-wracking watching these cars 3x3. Obviously, it's not as sketchy doing it here as it is Daytona, because Talladega is just so much more wider. You have so much more room to be able to do it and not, feel like you're claustrophobic and have that anxiety of, if you slide up just a little bit, you're going to get into that car around you and trigger the big one. You have about half a car width in between each lane to work with, and a lot more when we come onto the front straightaway here. Also, obligatory mention that the start-finish line is all the way down there past the tri-oval, so you gotta wait all the way down there before you know you're gonna win.
What? That's completely new information.
I never knew that.
Yeah, it's like we don't talk about it at Talladega enough for everyone to know.
Well, boys, I apologize.
Adams brothers actually up at the front there. Sorry, Chris.
Oh, you're all
welcome back,
good.
Chris.
I was about to ask how that happened.
They worked their way up to the front very tidily there. They were briefly as they were actually coming across the strap. They probably made for a great photo op, having them both side by side leading this horde of wolves. I guess pack of wolves, I guess would be the more appropriate term. Behind them, they now run first and third. Second on the outside for Josh, I believe that is, and then Jacob leads the inside lane. But thankfully, we do have Chris Wright back in the broadcast booth after some connection issues halfway through stage 1.
Yeah, hopefully we don't have any more connection issues. That was a little bit worse than a connection issue. That was a pretty hard lock up there, so hopefully it don't happen again. As Tommy Ryan
brand new
moves back
machine
to the
too.
lead. Yeah, brand new machine, and it just did a hard lock on me, so I might have to go talk to Josh about what to do with this thing at Best Buy. As I say that, Josh is going to take the lead back from Tommy Ryan with the push from the 24. You know, I'm not a Michael Hossack fan. I mean, I'm not rooting against him either. Like, we have to be impartial.
That's totally
is
new
always
information.
It is nice to see the 24 run at the front. So I'd like to see Michael get up here a little bit more often. You know, put that 24 up here towards the front.
Seeing a lot of chopping and changing up at the front. We've seen a lot of different names. So the Adams brothers very briefly. Tommy Ryan's been a constant. Tyler Fo's been a constant. Thomas Coonan qualified up there. But like I say, Hossack's made his way up there. Brandon Ultra's not ran in a while. He's still got, at least on my end, a default iRacing paint scheme on. Kale's getting up here in the 7 machine. Stanley, obviously we know he's good, but he didn't qualify as exceptionally, I don't believe.
Hey, Stanley's human out here, right? This is not a road course.
He's not on a road
human.
course, so yeah, he's mortal. And again, even on the ovals in the truck series right now, he's kicking all our behinds. He's making us look silly, but
Yeah,
a lot of
here,
new names up at the front.
yeah, this is where us plebes can actually have a chance to beat Ethan Stanley and Blake Reynolds.
Yeah,
And
Blake
a lot of the
Reynolds,
other-
it'd be a massacre.
Well, I believe in the truck series, he's driving for Lake Norman, right?
Stanley is, yes, yeah.
Yeah, so he's taken over the ride that I was in last season, and it just shows you how much better that car was than I am.
Yeah.
As Fody
He's
takes
also
the
joined
lead.
the racecraft as well, so he's getting all the tips from Blake and Zach over at Racecraft for Cup, and I think for Xfinity as well. So, I mean, he was already, like, before he joined Lake Norman, when he was, I guess, something of a privateer, he was good. He joined Lake Norman and became what he is now, and I think at Racecraft he's going to become a whole different beast, because he's learning from the absolute best. So, I am scared for what Ethan Stanley might do.
Look, I like Ethan. He's a good guy. And he's always been good at road courses. But I think all of you guys in here will agree with me when I say this. I don't think anybody has gotten better the way he has. Like, he used to really struggle on these ovals and burn his tires up. Like, he'd be really good for 5 or 10 laps, and you wouldn't have to worry about him the rest of the race. And he has gotten so much better on the oval side.
Definitely. I would agree.
Ooh, they're 4 wide back there and towards the back of the pack. right around where Chad Frankenfield is. A little bit of 4 wide action. Made it work. Chad's ready to try to get to the front. We're still about 20 laps away from these guys running out of fuel. So about halfway through a full fuel run here.
I don't know if these guys will have the opportunity, though, to make a green flag pit stop, though. Like I said, we're coming to 11 to go in stage 1. We've had no yellows so far, which tells me that we're getting close to something of a breaking point, a boiling point in the tension. The 3 wide is not tight-knit, but it's almost so disorganized that it seems like everyone is just trying to find any single pocket they can and might maybe make that move that's just a little bit over the edge, and it can all end in tears very, very quickly. They've still got Matthew Weeks and David Tucker to navigate around fairly soon, as those two run just shy of 40 seconds behind the leaders. So in the next couple laps around about the stage end, they'll come up on those two. So it could get very dicey very quickly, especially with the 3x3 running and 4 wide running at the back.
One thing that I think we have the opportunity for here is, like you mentioned, if they can get to this green flag stop without any big issues. Usually if we get one round of green flag stops at a super speedway, it'll spread everybody out enough to where it's probably going to more likely than not stay green the rest of the race. But if we catch a caution here, that's probably the kind of race we're going to have is, you know, we're going to just get cautions every 20 laps. So this is probably the make or break point of the race, and what kind of race we're going to see is what happens here before the first pit stop.
Yeah, and I think if we do end up getting green flag stops, I think that's really gonna determine what the rest of this race looks like, because you see it all the time in restrictor plate races where if we get green flag stops, we're gonna get multiple different packs because people are gonna make mistakes. They're gonna screw up and lose the draft in some way, shape, or form. And so because of that, we're gonna have smaller packs instead of this big, massive humanity right here, and that's going to significantly lessen the chances of us getting a caution from that, because of the fact that people are going to be more focused on trying to organize and draft up to the packs ahead, and you're just not going to have that many cars in one spot of the track. So if we continue to stay green now, I think we will continue to stay green after.
Sounds like Chad is getting bored out there.
Yeah.
If I heard correctly.
That is exactly what you want to hear.
Usually when someone
wow,
at Talledega, it means that something's about to go very wrong, as we see Blake Reynolds go way up high. He's going to link up with his teammates there, Paul Mikolajczyk and Jonathan Calibon up on the high side. And we're going to be 3 wide for the lead. A new challenger has approached just inside 10 to go in the stage.
Yes, sir. Blake trying to add more points to do his buck as we get to the start of the playoffs next week.
I'm going to tell you what a push in that top lane. What a push in the back.
Oh, look at that. Paul and Blake immediately dropped down to the bottom. That was a heck of a push by Paul to get both of them clear. And now Blake jumps up to take over control of the outside lane. Now you have all 3 lanes in full control of Channel 199. We're getting really aggressive now. We're almost 4 wide towards the back.
Not almost. Chad's found a 4th lane. Chad said, there's a 4th lane. I'm not bored in this 4th lane.
Ay, Dios mío.
Chad is committed to finding a 4th lane for us.
Got a little dicey between himself and JP Phillips in the 34, and that spread them all out around behind Frank Foti, RCNS and Campbell, Frankenfield. Do 2x2 a little bit spread out, but they've still latched on to the draft. Quite nicely. So they're not out of it just yet, and it's inside 6 to go. And now there are drivers like Chad who need to now try and claw back the deficit. There are drivers here who stage points could make or break their bid to make the playoffs. So this could get something of a quite enticing quite quickly here.
Well, and I don't want to alarm anybody, but about 4 seconds out in front of this pack is a couple cars lined up in a draft. So they're not just going to blow the doors off of these guys. They're going to be able to probably be 4 or 5 rows back and be stuck 4 wide when they pass these two. And it's David Tooker and Matthew Weeks, I believe.
Goody gumdrops. This is oh.
The all teams chat is always quite fun, isn't it? They mention that 15 car all the time, don't they?
Well, we're seeing 5 to go in the stage right here, I believe. So.
Yep.
Inside
Here
5
comes...
to go. We're catching lappers. Chad's aggressive. Someone's hitting the catch fence. Brandon Ultra's up here. He might have a chance at this.
Yeah. In the Gator Golfers.
Oh, we're first and 4 wide. They're forcing 4 wide right here at the front. Ooh, that's Jacob Adams. They got the 66 shuffled out.
Ultra aggressive to the bottom.
Oh dear. Oh god.
Oh, they're offset 4.
Oh my. Oh.
And Chad says, I see 4 wide. Let me get involved.
Oh.
He's going straight through the middle. But no help.
We have survived a lot longer than I thought we would have. Look at that. It actually worked somehow.
Way!
Oh.
Cutlip moving Adams, and there goes Hossack.
Oh, it's just a single car, though. It's just a single car.
Yeah. Yeah, we're going to stay green. Honestly, that Michael has some damage, but considering that he was careening to the inside wall, I think that worked out very well for Michael Hossack. All he has is just, body damage, but I think the suspension is all right on the 24. So that, all things considered, that worked out really well for Michael Hossack.
Well, here we go. We got the lap cars. These guys are they're going to get to the outside of them, but they're going to be able to stay down there.
Gird your loins, everyone. Oh! Adam's getting turned down into Ryan. Oh my God!
They're good.
Ryan.
They're not even going to lose the draft. They'll need a black cleared, but they're not even going to lose the draft. Incredible stuff.
I saw Jeff Ryan monster truck over the grass. That 3 car was airborne, at least on my end. Oh my lord.
Do you think these guys know that the stage end is coming here in about 2.5 laps?
Oh, crackers. And we still have 2 laps to go in this stage. Plenty of time to kill some race cars.
And they keep trying. They've taken 2 real good swipes at it, and they're going 4 wide again. Right around Chad Lincolnfield, they're looking for 4. What is it with 4 wide tonight? Every time we've said it, it's been right around Chad.
Because we can actually go 4 wide here, unlike Daytona, where 4 wide is automatic death and destruction. Well, you see Seth making a huge move.
And you got the lappers up here playing a part in it now. Matthew Weeks and David Tooker are going to have a say in how the stage ends.
Yeah.
And you see it right now pushing Brandon Ultra out there.
He's going plus ultra right now, trying to get the stage win. If you understand what I'm referencing, your legend.
Chad Frankenfield looking 4 wide once again.
Can almost make it a drinking game at this point. Chad going 4 wide. Drink!
Oh, and Cutlip's around Dustin Dewar.
There it is! Oh, up into the 54. Ryan got spun. Tommy Ryan. Oh, Jacob Adams almost got hit by the 5. Gavin Hibbs singing soprano now. See,
I'm going to tell you right now, they're not going to be happy with Chad forcing it 4 wide.
Yeah, but I can't really put that on Chad. Chad was gave enough room. In fact, Chad was up into the wall, not hurting anyone. Meanwhile, you see the 32 Adore just kind of slides up into Cutlip just a little bit, and it's enough to send the 5 around. Oh, he kind of got wiggly and was just having to gather the car back up, and just gathered it back up into Cutlip. And man, look how close Adams and another car, couldn't quite tell who it was, they almost just wiped out Cutlip as he was coming back down the track.
And Cutler must have pretty severe damage because he has chosen to pit right here before it's open, already being a lap down. So John must have quite severe damage.
So who was that shooting the gap through the middle? That was wild.
I believe that is RC.
You are correct. RC just sending it through the middle.
Quite the maneuver. And there comes
Yeah.
another car through in the grass. Is that Jacob Adams? You talked about him missing just barely.
Yeah.
So what we will do, pit lane's about to open. Brandon Ultra will win the stage. They will give out the stage right here to him at the time of caution. So your top 10 right there are how the stage points are going to be awarded. But we are going to get in a quick commercial break, maybe the only one of the night if we run green from here. So stick with us, and on the other side of the break, we will bring you more action from Talledega.
Now let's hear about Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pick group. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And welcome back to Talledega for the Talledega 200, where you see the tally list here, the 25 and the 41 for their severe damage and caution incidents. Anything you want to add on to that, William?
Yeah. So, sorry, I'm being asked a question in chat. Please hold. I'll come back to you in just.
Well, 10-4, we'll go ahead and get in a sponsor read right here real quick. I want to give a shout out to Worldwide Technology Raceway, their motorsport racing facility in Madison, Illinois, just east of St. Louis, Missouri, close to the Gateway Arch. And it features a 1.25-mile oval that hosts the NASCAR Cup Series, Xfinity Series, the Craftsman Truck Series, and the NTT IndyCar Series. They also have a 2-mile road course used by Speed Tour, Trans Am, SCCA, and the Porsche Club of America. And they have a quarter-mile NHRA sanctioned drag strip that hosts the annual NHRA Mission Foods Drag Racing Series Midwest Nationals event. And, of course, the Kartplex, a state-of-the-art karting facility. So if you are a motorsports fan, what are you doing here? Get over to the Gateway Arch and check out Worldwide Technology Raceway.
I suppose drug racing is kind of the origins of how we got here, really, isn't it? Back in the 40s. So it's not entirely incorrect.
Pretty much, yeah.
Rum runners, yeah. That's stock car racing started.
Moonshiners.
There's a little history lesson for you. Well, no, just to quickly expand on The caution incidents prior to quickly step away. So just before the end of the stage, there was an incident between Seth Rawls and Michael Haslak, which I'm sure we all caught on the camera. Kind of a small stack up in the middle lane, a bit of a bapper. I think it was around Blake, if I remember correctly. A bit of a dodgy push, got people sideways. Seth just mistimed it, tagged Michael in the right rear as he came up behind, and I think got about a minute and a half of damage for the 24, so that was what the tally was for. And then we saw the accident that brought out the caution to end the stage on lap 30. Frank Voti just gets a little bit out of shape on the bottom line, gets into Dua, who is then sent into Cutlip, causing that reaction. So fairly standard Talledega incidents. 2 cars hit, they get sent into another car or off into the wall. Very standard stuff that you'll see here, but that's what resulted in those 2 tallies being given.
Yeah, and I just want to bring up one thing here. Where this pit stop has occurred, I mean, we're right at the edge of the fuel. We're about 3 or 4 laps outside of the fuel window here. Now, 3 or 4 laps of Talledega, you can save that kind of fuel. But you have to give up your track position, so it'll be interesting to see how that shakes out here.
Yeah, curious to see who bites on the fuel save and who goes reckless abandon.
Yeah, and it depends on if you think you can save 4 laps of fuel. I mean, saving 4 laps of fuel here, we're talking 10 miles. That's hard to do. That would be something that took the whole run. But the green flag is out. Fody gets a great restart. Josh pulls up right behind him. Big push coming back on the top with Ethan Stanley pushing on the back of Brandon Ultra. Make their way down the backstretch, and I'm seeing everybody pushing pretty hard. I'm not seeing a whole lot of fuel save. I'm not seeing a whole lot of guys falling to the back.
Yeah, I'm curious on what the lead guys are going to do here, because theoretically, if you wanted to, you could try to save fuel as the leader by just... Oh! Fuck! It's turned! Oh! Oh, someone else gets turned, and... How did we not wad any cars up? What?
I think there was some good damage to the 90, to the 40. Looks like they're just pushing. Josh just is pushing.
Wow. Oh. Oh yeah, you
Just
see
pushed him
Crump get into
sideways.
Bodie.
Bad push, I guess. Incredible that more guys weren't involved.
Right? That's what I'm saying. Like, that happened essentially right in front of the field. And you see, this is the biggest damage. Casey Hatch checking up. Door gets into him and ships the 14. Ships him into Scott Crump, which then kind of ping-pongs him into the 40 of Tyler Fody. But that's kind of the entirety of it. Mother of mercy, but that should have been 1,000 times worse. Like, we should have multiple cars on the record right now. That is incredible driving from everyone just to keep it to what it was.
I got to tell you, too, we're seeing some of the fuel strategy play here. Guys that are staying out are going to be probably a lap or 2 short, but it's going to put them right there on the edge. These guys that are pitting, they're going to be good. So this caution is kind of taking a lot of the fuel strategy out of it. One thing to make note of here, too, is I called that the 5 had lost a lap, and I don't think he did. The 5 is still out here stayed on the lead lap, fixing his damage, his cut lip. So we take a look here. There's Joe Francis, I believe, coming through the grass to miss the wreck. But like you said, James, to get churned from the lead in front of the whole field and not really have any major damage to speak of,
Yeah, like half
incredible.
the field should have been nuked. Like, look at that. That is just fantastic driving from Burrell to avoid a completely broadsided 40 car right in front of him.
And Cody wasn't mad. He said that he had like 20 seconds of damage to fix on the pit stop, chose not to fix it. Didn't think it was hurting him, but he said it felt like it might have been hurting him there a little bit, and that allowed Josh to kind of shove through him the way it happened.
Yeah,
It's not very often that if it's square, they spin out. Like, that is not... Normally, if there's a spin, you can kind of talk about how the guy behind was off center, the guy in front moved a little bit, made the guy behind off center. You know, when you go up there to push, you're kind of thinking, hey, this guy's going to hold a straight line, and if they move a little bit either way, well, then you get off center, pushing on one side of the car or the other, and it's going to spin that car right around.
yeah, it looked like a decent push. Obviously, he's still getting the tally for it, but we've definitely seen worse pushes.
Yeah, there's some bad pushes that have happened out here. Field lines up, getting ready to go green. Taking a look here. Brandon Ultra, Josh Adams, Thomas Coonan, Chad Frankenfield, Cale Pocock up here into the top 5. Wadsworth, one of us picked him to win. I believe it was race controller William White. Frank Fody, previous Talledega winner. We got Ryan up there, Jay, Leighton. Those are the top 10.
I think my pick is playing the fuel strat game. Oh, Ethan Stanley just left. Ethan Stanley is just gone.
Yeah, not sure what's going on there with Stanley. That's weird.
Well,
I don't understand why he would leave early. I guess, I don't know. He's not racing
Right?
for points. I don't know.
And
Maybe
like, didn't
two
seem like
cautions was too many in a row right there for him or something.
apparently. Screw you guys. I'm going home. My terrible Cartman impression.
He's always talking about Kyle's mom. I can't remember exactly what he says, though.
It's probably not something we can say on air anyways.
Well, I don't know. I was waiting to see if you'd say it as the green comes out here. Big jump up there. Frank Fody, it's taken off. I don't know what's going on right there. He barely took off, like he was in the wrong gear, did Frank Fody.
Yeah.
Battle up at the front, though. Josh Adams is going to win that battle with the big push from Chad Frankenfield.
Oh.
They both get clear to the bottom. Chad's wanting the lead, though.
Say it ain't so.
Well, he's up there now. He doesn't have anybody to go 4 wide with.
Famous last words. You see someone jump into the outside. I think it's the 88 of Gibson. That 88 car also has some fairly significant damage on the left rear as well.
Wonder
Yeah.
if he might be jumping out for safety's sake, just around the back.
I mean, he's really
Not the ones
struggling.
that
I don't
way.
understand. What I don't understand here is if you're going to fall to the back and you've got damage, why not pit and fix it?
Right?
I've never understood the people who stay out and then drop to the back. They're like, hey, this time I'm going to drop to the back. Like, you made a decision to stay out, just run. Like, if they pass you, they pass you. You know, usually 9 times out of 10 in iRacing, they're going to pass you, but don't be crazy or anything. And I mean, I've stayed out my fair share. You guys know I'll stay out and be out there on old tires. And I mean, people pass me, but I ain't just moving over like, hey, I'm going to the back.
You staying out on crazy tire strats? No, I've never seen that before. I don't know what you're talking about.
Hey,
It's
sometimes
French
it
payment.
works. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it blows up in my face.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That's great math. That's like Scott Steiner math there.
Yeah, unfortunately, I can't get to Zach Evans level math, unfortunately. Obligatory that I was told there would be no math.
Yeah.
Well, we got one car looking 3 wide with a little bit of help. That's Matthew Weeks back there pushing on the 95. They're trying to find their way forward. RC pulls up. The 86 pulls up, and well, I think we're seeing they're going to get back to 3x3 here real quick.
Yeah, I was literally about to say this run is a lot less aggressive this time around with everyone just being too wide, and as I was about to open my mouth, they all jumped 3 wide, so...
And now Tate pulled up, and as a guy in the top, like Matthew Weeks was like the first guy to move to the top with momentum. Well, now he's the 5th guy in line. That is so frustrating as a driver when you are the first guy to make a move, and then you make it start working, and then everybody else decides they want to be up there. It's like, you didn't get up here when I was trying to do it myself, and now you want to get up here because I'm making it work? Like, that's so frustrating as a driver.
Yeah, but at the same time, it's kind of a necessary evil because, especially if you're doing it from like towards the back of the pack like Matthew was, you need other people to jump up in front of you and help you. Otherwise, it's just going to be you and maybe a couple cars behind you, which, as we know, is not going to be enough to get a proper line. So you actually need those cars in front of you to jump up in front of you. Otherwise, it's not going to work. And it definitely is still frustrating, but it's one of those things where you're just kind of like, yeah, I get it. And it's just part of the issues of trying to make your way up through the field with no track position.
Well, right now, that middle lane, Tate, they push Tate to the lead. Tate dropped to the middle lane, and he is pulling Chad right on through. It's always interesting to see when the lanes move and what makes them move. Like, you can learn so much about where to put your car just by watching and seeing what happens.
Absolutely, and that's what I always love about plate racing is all the different things going on around you and how something that happens like 10 rows back behind you will affect what position you're running in the next couple laps, and having to figure out and understand what move to make and when to make it. I've always likened it to chess at 200 miles an hour, at least until the wrecks start happening. Then you're basically just picking up the chessboard and chucking it out the wall at that point.
Yeah, and one thing that I always like is having like a human element spotter at these kind of racetracks, or being in the field. You guys, you've got teammates or friends, and you're spread out through the field. So it's always like, hey, if they're a spotter that just came in to watch you, and you're like, hey, don't tell me what's going on in front of me. I can see everything in front of me. I can see right behind me. Let me know what's going on 5 or 10 rows back. Where's the momentum coming from? who's pulling out, who's pushing, what's it look like, because that's where that run to take the lead from third or fourth, it's going to come from mid-pack. Like, those guys are going to get a big push. You're going to be able to pull in front of it. Like, as a driver, that's what you're watching for, and that's what you want to know here at these plate tracks is, you know, what's going on 5 or 10 rows back, because that's where my ability to make this pass is going to come from.
Yeah, and I think both me and you are of the same mindset of I want as much information as possible. I want to know everything that's going on this track around me. Like, even, like, I suppose I differ a little bit, and I like to know what's going on in front of me as well if I'm not directly up leading one of the lines. Like, I want to know what's going on the entire board, so I get a proper understanding of what the heck is going on and what I need to do because of it.
Yeah, because all that information is going to give you everything you need to know about what move to make, when to make that move. And there's a lot of things you can do as a driver to kind of make your own move. It's not like it used to be. You could do a lot as a driver out here. Now it's not so much, because if you start laying off, like, there's so much drag on these cars across the board. You know, these cars, the cup cars, the trucks. There's really not a whole lot of drafting the way that it was 5 or 10 years ago, where you could run second or third and you could pass that leader by building your own run, making your own move. And that's really gone with how much drag is on these cars now, because if you start backing up trying to create a run, you're just going to get passed by another lane. So it's a lot less about the driver and being good at this stuff, as it, you know, it's way more just luck, being in the right spot. And now, you know, the driver matters when it comes to putting the car in the right spot. Like, you got to know where to put your car and when to make that move with the runs. Oh, reckon Dustin Doer's around on the back.
Dusty!
Single car.
Shit! Oh, got
Another
shipped into
single
the
car.
wall.
And what just happened to Dusty is not a place you want to put your race car.
Nope.
JD's Hilltop Salvage. Does not look like they're going to get this car just yet. It's still rolling. Still good. Taking a look back here on the replay. Fourth car, a little bit of a push going back in front of him. Pushes him left. The 42's down, like, it just a little bit of an accordion.
Yeah, I don't think it was a push. I think there was just, you can see a bit of a checkup in front of Dusty. Dusty had to check up, and Joe had no idea that they were checking up in front and just ran into the back of the 32 just because he didn't have any time to hit the brakes. That's the thing, because of these giant ass spoilers. You can't see a whole lot in front of you, especially past the car in front of you.
Yeah, you talking about the spoilers. I was trying to pretty it up earlier when I talked about drag. That is the drag, is the spoiler.
But yeah, and going back to what we were talking about before that, you're definitely right in the sense that, you know, there's very little out in your control now, and, you know, it's a stark contrast thinking back to like the 2013 to 2015 or so package at the plate tracks, where you could control pretty much the whole race from the front if you knew what you were doing.
And it took some real skill too back then. Like, it took a good driver to understand what to do. Like, I just don't think that's there anymore. I got just as good of a shot as somebody making their first ever start at a super speedway. You know, like, it's
and
flip a coin.
And, you know, I think during one of the rain delays at one of the recent Daytona summer races, they were going back and watching the 2015 race, and Junior was kind of narrating what he was doing to make sure that how he could keep control of the entire race. And, that was one of Junior's best races ever, where he just basically led nearly the entire race, that 2015 Daytona summer race. And getting an understanding of everything that he was taking into consideration and working with was so eye-opening. And it's a shame because, like we've talked about, it's kind of irrelevant now.
I mean, yeah, there was a period of time from about, 2000, 2001 to 2005 or 6. If you were given the field or Gordon and Earnhardt, you were going to take Gordon and Earnhardt because they won like 3/4 of the races in that time span. They were really good at it, and they were in really good cars, and handling was a factor. Driver made a huge difference. Which is insane to think about now. Like, you're not going to pick one, even somebody like Ryan Blaney, who runs at the front of all these super speedway races. If you're given an opportunity to take him and Logano or the field, you're going to take the field every time, because the field's probably going to win 3/4 of the time, even if the field isn't better than those two cars.
And that's what's impressive to me about Denny Hamlin and the amount of races and the amount of Daytona 500s he's won, because he's done it mostly in this new era where it's just a roulette wheel. So the fact that Denny was still able to win as many races as he has on plate tracks is impressive, because so much of it is luck and just hoping things work out.
Yeah, but I think Denny's got one of the worst stat lines at super speedway races in the next gen, right? So he had that quick run, and then it kind of fell apart. Like, I think since the next gen, Denny's really struggled. Like, there was about a 3 or 4 year period where it was like, Denny's the best, and then it really quickly became the Penske cars, and we're about due for a shift in that too. Penske's been really strong. I think we're about due to see another team step up, and I think it might be Hendrick Motorsports, looking at the way they've ran this year on the speedways. Larson and Elliott were a big factor in that cutoff race, and I don't think they really went for the win as much as making sure that Alex made the playoff. So I think HMS is about to step up their super speedway program once again.
As a biased Briscoe supporter, I hope Toyota gets a little better again.
I mean, then we got Dodge coming soon, right? I think they're looking to be on the Cup grid at the start of 27.
Yeah, so, can't wait for that.
Are they going to be able to, I mean, there's a whole big conversation we could have about what team is going to become which team when it comes to making those changes. Is right now Matthew Weeks out front. That's right, lap down to the lead. 95 is going to take it. He's got Ethan Burrell down there pushing him. Scott Crump has made his way to the front. I'm going to tell you right now, these guys that stayed out, they are still about 2 laps short on fuel, based on what I can see right here. So I believe we're talking about Josh Adams, Chad Frankenfield. There's
we're 4 wide again. We're 4 wide again. Oh boy.
And Tyler Pop hits the wall to not be in the middle of that 4.
He hit it again, and big move from Blake.
That's the second time. High. Second time we've seen Blake do that tonight. Just drive right up the track across somebody's bumper.
Yeah, call that 86 car the elevator, the way he's going up and down so quickly.
He's trying to squeeze in the middle. 43 tries to shut it. That could have been that was dangerous there.
Yeah, you're not right.
Here he goes again. Tooker's going to move up. They're just going to keep giving him the middle.
Ryan, he gets turned. There it is.
Mark's down here. Oh, the 3.
Oh.
Who just drove underneath the 3? What were they seeing?
88 and the 24. Good gracious.
So there's the 3 spinning. Oh, so it's going to start up way up at the top there. Man, poor Mark's just running along down there at the bottom. So the 3 is going way up. The 34 is like, well, I'll just go through the middle. As he goes in, the 3 comes back down, contact, bounces into Mark. The 9 gets a little piece of it. Now Mark's spinning up there as well. There's Brandon Ultra. Saw him lead a bunch of this. They shuffled him out to the back, and he has to miss that wreck.
Yeah, he barely
Tommy
gets
tries
by.
to get left. Now somewhere in here, somebody's going to come in. Ooh, Thomas Coonan just sliding through.
And then
Boom.
blam! And double blam!
And there's the 24 and the 88. There's John Cutlip missing him on the inside. Let's see what Kurt sees here. Well, you see John slows down a lot more than he does. Well, I think that's just a veteran versus a guy who maybe hasn't ran quite as many races as Cutlip. Cutlip got slowed down way better, way more aggressive, and Kurt kind of went through there with a little bit more speed. Michael went through there with a little bit more speed too. You see John's really slowing down. There's Kurt just and Michael just following Kurt, like just not quite slowing down enough, and they paid the price for it.
Yep.
But what we will do is this is going to give us a little bit less than 20 laps to go. We're going to get in one more commercial break, and then we're going to come back and bring you the final, I'm going to go ahead and say probably 17 green flag laps from Talledega.
Now let's hear about Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pick group. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head-to-head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
And welcome back to Talledega Super Speedway, where we had some pit stops. Some guys chose to stay out. The fuel mileage, I think, if you were about 4 laps short, you were about 2 laps short, this caution probably makes you good to go, unless there's green-white checkers. But I think most everybody who needed to pitted right there.
Top 10 are still on last stop. 11 on back. Hit it this time.
So there it is. So I think everybody's good to go in fuel. Ethan Burrell's going to be out front here. Frank Fody, hopefully he gets a little better restart than he did the last restart when he took off in those grandpa gears or something out there. I don't know what Frank was doing. We got Gerald Campbell up here towards the front. Scott Crump, Tate Lytle, Dominic Wright is up here. Trey Eitzen, Tyler Fody, Jacob Adams, Seth Rawls are the top 10 here. Should be interesting to see how this shakes out. And most of the field is still out here. We've had a few cautions, but they've all been pretty minor wrecks for Talledega. What do you think, James? Are we going to get that big 20-25 car wreck that gives a lot of guys damage, or are we going to be able to dodge that bullet tonight?
Oh, now that we only have under 20 to go, no fuel concerns, things are going to get silly.
Where's Chad at? Where's Chad restarting right here?
Um.
12th.
12th.
Oh dear.
That's going to be the guy to watch. We've seen him 4 wide every chance he can get tonight.
He has
It's going to take
freshest
a couple
tires.
laps. It's going to take a couple laps. And Dave mentions tires, but I don't
Not too big
think
here,
tires
but-
are going to matter. It's all about what's in the seat. And I'm going to tell you what. I could say nobody's more aggressive, nobody's more crazy.
I'll say they
But
might
here's what
not
I'm
make
gonna
a
say.
difference, but they give Chad confidence. Chad with confidence.
That's what I was going to say. Chad's one of the most confident guys out here. And he's going to be very confident in his ability to get back to the front. And it is going to give us a great show.
Yes, it is.
And I will say this. Chad likes to work with other Fords. And I know that because I drove a Ford one season. He said it's nice to have more Fords out here. Like it made, like it makes a difference. But he says that. But then when he's out here, he doesn't want to work with the other Fords. So, he's got 2 Fords lined up in front of him, but he's already showing Seth, like, he's looking for the middle under caution. He's showing Seth, hey, man, this is what I'm going to do. This green flag comes out, I'm going to shoot this middle. Don't shut that door, because if you shut that door, what happens, happens.
Yeah, this is gonna be fun.
And we got, nighttime closing in. It's shading over here on the front stretch pretty good as the green is about to come out. Ethan has picked the top. Green is out. Much better start for Frank up at the front. Not great.
Yeah, it was a great
Scott's
jump
out there.
from Burrell.
Now, Frank and Scott are
Oy.
teammates. Does Frank pull up here and get in front of Scott?
Yep.
And here comes one of the Adams brothers. I believe that one is Jacob Adams with his teammate / car owner, Seth Rawls. I got to think Josh is going to go with him.
Yep. There they go. Tommy Ryan almost joined them.
So all the Fords line up on the top, except for Chad. And you mentioned Jay's out there, right at the front. You got 2 teammates in the middle with Frank and Scott. And Frank is a previous winner here at Talledega. So he wants to get another victory here at Talledega. Gerald Campbell with a big push there on the bottom. So third lane's doing a good job. They only have, really 3 real tight cars, and Jay's just kind of being tugged along as Brandon Ultra has moved up there, but he's 5-7 rows back.
Yeah, I'm surprised no one from a little farther behind has jumped up to join them.
Well, now they pull the inside lane is falling off here just a little bit. Pushes are a lot harder up at the top. Gerald's leaving a big gap. Matthew Weeks doesn't like what he sees. He's going to get out of line.
See, someone else just joined the top side. I think it's Coonan. Oh!
Seth blows up.
Oh, and it's a big one!
Jay's involved. Josh Adams is in there. Destroyed. Seth just grenaded that Ford motor into turn 3.
He sure did.
You'll see here, they're just pushing hard, pushing hard. He knows he's a little hot. He's going to back off. See, you back off right here, and you're like, okay. And then it just
Yep.
blows up right there.
Yep.
Nowhere
without
for his
the magic
teammate to go.
smoke. Nowhere for Jay Connor to go either.
Good job by him and Josh, though, to keep these cars up by the wall. So right here on the replay, you know what's going on? Jake's thinking, I got my teammates behind me. This is great. I've got all these friends. It's going to be a great run to the end. Look at all these friends right behind me. This guy behind me owns the car. My brother and teammate is right behind him. And right about here, everything changes, and now he's got no friends, no teammates, and no brother left out here on the racetrack.
All by myself.
So that wreck wasn't that big unless you drive for that team.
Yeah.
And I believe the 25 has picked up his second tally. So he is parked, but I think the driver took care of that when the motor let go into 3.
Yeah, that'll be really unfortunate in 30 minutes when that car is done being repaired.
I do hope we are not here in 30 more minutes. I do not want to see him have the opportunity to say, man, I could get back out here if I didn't get that second tally. Well, he does lose some points to the cut line. He came in. It will be a 10-point penalty. So that is something that is going to be very interesting as they wind down towards the playoffs here.
Yeah,
Is this the last race?
it is.
Well, I'm not even going to attempt to do that math because it would probably be wrong. So as we sit here, it is still Ethan Burrell, Frank Fody, Campbell, Crump, Adams, Lytle Fody, Dominic Wright, Trey Eiton, and Tommy Ryan, or Chad Frankiefield. I don't know that it's swapped. You see a car taking the lucky dog.
Neum.
Race Control is giving these guys a stern talking to right now about how he wants this thing to play out.
Watching the clock.
Race control needs Betty Bye.
Well, we are going to get 1 to green. Ethan Burrell once again will pick that top side.
It worked out great for him. One before the storm right now.
Yeah, it's a lot of stress. We've got 11 to go here at the green. We've got some teammates up here. I think one of the things that Ethan is doing by doing this, well, the 56 and the 90 are teammates. If the 41 got to line up there, you would be lining up 3 Lake Norman cars. So I think he's trying to avoid that by making Gerald push Frank, but I don't think Gerald minds. Gerald doesn't strike me as the guy who is only going to help a teammate. Gerald's going to do what's good for Gerald on the racetrack.
Wants to get that interview so he can talk to you again.
Yeah, I know. So I'm hoping he gets it for us. I did pick him to win, so come on, Gerald. You're this close. Finish the job. It's only going to be 11 laps when you get the green.
Who James pick?
Bunch of letters.
Oh, he's down there. 8th and 5th.
Green is out. Pretty good start for the top lane. Not so great for the bottom. Oh, and I say the top lane, the first 3 cars. Oh, Gerald pulls to the top.
Now, Mark. Mark talking some
cars fan out.
smack. Oh, here comes Chad. It's Chad wide. Oh, he's got
Chad,
Keenan.
no help though.
He's 2 of the most aggressive drivers in the field pushing each other. That's certainly not a recipe for disaster.
I'm gonna go ahead and make a guarantee. I guarantee Gerald.
Oh,
Oh, there it is!
It's Chad. It's the 95.
still green.
They're coming back.
Now,
Frankfurt, he got pushed out of line too.
I have no idea what happened.
I think Chad might have got a bad bump.
Well, they're getting pushed here, and they get a car pulls out in front of them. Let's see what happens over here. So here, oh, okay,
Oh.
there it is. The 95, a bad bump to, I don't know who that is, gets him sideways up in front of Chad. Chad hits him, then Chad gets hit.
Yeah, apologies
So that
to
bump.
Coonan. There's
That bump caused the whole chain.
there's nothing really Coonan can do. That's such a freak incident happening in front of him. Once again, can't see what's going on in front of you. He is like that whole incident from the car popping up in front of Chad to Chad checking up. That's like a split second. By the time Coonan would even realize that the 43 is up in front of Chad now, it's already like way too late. So
Well,
yeah,
and I thought the 43 moved up here on purpose, but he gets hit out of line.
yeah,
The 95 gets into him and gets him sideways. So that's kind of where everything started. The bad bump from the 95 to the 43, put the 43 up there, and Chad had all that momentum. Nothing Chad could do. You know, when the wreck kind of already started at that point, and Chad spins down here with the 14. The 66 is down there. The 95 is down there. But once again, none of these guys are going to get severe damage. Everybody's still good. Any one of these cars could still win the race. I've never seen a plate race like this where people keep wrecking, but they're not really doing any major damage.
yeah.
Now, the 5 did get heavy damage earlier, but I believe he's been able to fix his car, and he's back out here just fine, trying to see if he can put himself in a spot to win this race.
31st.
Crazier things have happened.
Yeah, one time I went 15th to 1st on the last lap alone. So it's definitely possible.
And you get to the end of these races on the last lap, sometimes the whole field can wreck. Like that race you referenced earlier. One thing that I remember about that race is being a Jeff Gordon fan. He went into turn 3 running about 18th or 20th, and he came out of 4 and finished second. One thing that's a little different this time is Frank Fodi. You mentioned he lost some ground and some momentum, so he's going to be back in row 3 instead of up on row 1. I am curious to see what Ethan Burrell does this time, because that's 2 teammates at second and third, but him and Tate have a history. Does Tate pick teammate Scott Crump, or does Tate pick old friend Ethan Burrell?
As race control is currently discussing appeals right now.
Man, you know who I think needs to find each other right here and work together, because they don't have a whole lot of friends when you talk about everything up here with the Lake Norman cars and whatnot? I think Gerald and Jake need to find a way to work together here. I know they're starting in opposite lines right here, but they don't really have anybody else up here. So I think if they could find each other and make it work, they might be the best thing for them.
Once again, another calm before the storm. Gonna have 7 laps to go when we get back to it.
Well, here they come. We're going to get the green with 7 to go. Ethan Burrell on the bottom for the first time, as he's picked the top the last handful of restarts. It's going to have Scott Crump on his outside. Time to see how it shakes out. Green is out. A great start for the bottom. Jake does not do a great job getting a good start on the top. That's going to leave Scott. Here they come, pushing hard. He's going to get to Scott. But the inside has cleared 2 cars, and Tate pulls up in front of Scott.
Yeah, he's going to have his teammate. Scott giving him a great push right now.
And I mean, Jake's really on the back. They were pushing 3 deep right there. They had to do all that work just to get back even, though, as the outside lane did not get a very great start.
Here we go. Here starts the exodus up to the top side. Trey Eitzen leading.
Here comes Jake pulling up into front of that 3rd lane.
Whoa, dumb right.
Ethan's clear out front, side by side for second. pushing hard there everywhere. Pushing hard everywhere is their 3x3.
Yeah, we're gonna get any more smoke. Well, Coonan side drafting took her hardcore.
Who's going to get the big run?
Boy.
I like the look of that middle lane and how tight they are. Three by three, just incredible stuff, just waiting for the wreck. I mean, that's what I think that's what everybody's doing, is trying to not be in the wreck, but it's going to start somewhere. Just big pushes, great pushes. You kind of want to be leading one of these lanes, too. Oh, Tate's going to pull up to the top side. Jake's going to try to get underneath him. Tate slams the door.
This is causing a huge checkup to the outside. Oh, this is not good.
That was very
We're wide now.
This is very.
Oh dear. Oh no. Oh my.
Please.
Oh, Aaron, Harrison, and Blake, and they're wrecking.
Dustin Dewar's back there. Harry's back there. Joe Francis is back there. This is going to get us into green-white checkers. Just 4 wide back here. It's not going to work. They go to bouncing off each other. That's where Dusty gets a piece of it. Paul just misses. The 34, the 7's in there. Whole lot of things went on right there. I thought they were going to wreck right at the front because Tate pulled up there, and it looked like Jake was trying to go through middle 4. Tate kept shutting the door, and they wrecked back there where it was 4 wide.
Right there with you. I was expecting one there too.
So as it sits, Ethan Burrell, Scott Crump, Gerald Campbell, Frank Fody, Tate Lytle, Jacob Adams are in those first 3 rows. Then you got a Leighton Norgard, Tyler Fody, Trey Eitzen, David Tooker. But that was one more wreck, James, where nobody got significant damage again.
Yeah, that's wild, honestly.
Well, guys, we've gotten to this part of the race. Ethan Burrell was talking about how dark it's getting out here and that he thinks they should just call it. Can't see on the front stretch, he said. And that was, I think, last caution or the caution before. So I know what Ethan's thinking. But what are you guys thinking? We don't always get to do this. But 1, 2, or 3 green, white checkers, how many are we going to need?
Yes.
I'll take 1. I don't really believe it, but I'll take 1.
I think I got to go out here and I'm going to... You know what? I was going to say 2. But you guys both said 1, so I'm going to say we'll take... I'll stick with 2.
I think
We'll take
James said yes.
Yep.
Took 1 or 3. Yes.
Now, I do feel like it's going to be really hard for them to wreck before they get around. I shouldn't say really hard. They can wreck anywhere. We have seen it. Been part of it. Involved in it. Not just here in the booth. Out on the racetrack. But it is quite difficult to wreck before you get back to the front stretch. And with the new iRacing procedures, once the white flag is in the air, the white flag is out. There is no caution. Like, so once they get to about the tri-oval, middle of the tri-oval, and that white pops up on your screen when you get close enough to see it, and it triggers, then they could wreck everybody right there, and it doesn't matter. The caution's not coming out. So
your
I
secondary
know it used
question
to-
would be, will they wreck on the white?
yeah, we're wrecking on the white flag for sure. Even if we use all 3 green, white checkers, we're wrecking on the white flag, unless we wreck before we get back around here to get the white flag. I would be pretty. I don't want the impressed is not the word. I would be shocked if we use all 3 green, white checkers and then still don't get around to see the white flag.
Don't say that. They might take it as a challenge.
I guess
Who's
the
our
right word
most
would be.
desperate drivers? Adam,
I would be very
Norgard,
surprised
Eidson.
if we don't get a green flag in. Well, Jacob Adams needs to win.
Eidson's
Kate
way
needs
down
to
there
win.
in the yellow. Norgard's way down there.
Where's Frank? I didn't even see Frank.
Frank Foti is not eligible. Oh, he's way farther down than what tagged. He's
You know,
in the
I
black.
think we need to go. We need to go to chat about a change in the rules. If Frank wins, he should be in.
Gerald. What about Ethan?
I mean, if Gerald wins, he should be in. Ethan's won enough championships and whatnot. Ethan doesn't need this.
Look
But
at
Gerald
that
and Frank,
graphic and see farther down. No, let them appear on Chad's graphic at all. If they win, not in the top 25. So winning it in doesn't get it. You have to win.
Which is how it should be in real life.
it is going to be exciting, though. I can't wait to see it. Our leader picked the bottom. Here we come down to get that green flag for our first attempt. Green is out. Pretty good start up there towards the front. Frank saved the best one for last. That's the best restart Frank's had all night long.
No kidding. Saved it for what we hope to be last at any rate.
Oh no!
Oh no! Burrow gets spun!
Oh, then
Basically,
more! Oh!
Guys.
Oh, wow. Frank Foti, Gerald Campbell, Tate Lytle's back there.
Oh, Tate is toast.
Oh,
What?
they get churned on the inside lane, pushing hard. Ethan pushes Gerald. Oh, and then Frank pulls up and then pulls back. They get sideways. He gets into Tate. So Frank's going to go around here. Wadsworth. This wreck ended up being a lot bigger than I thought.
Goes a hood.
So I am not sure if If looking back at that, if I'm not sure if Frank seen him start wrecking, moved up, then realized they stayed on the apron, tried to move back down. I'm not real sure exactly what happened to create the secondary accident. Oh, and Ryan ends up thinking he was just going to hit Justin a little bit. And when Justin moves, there sits Frank as soon as Justin moves.
Damn.
He took a big bite out of the bite-sized sports machine right there.
Yeah, and Cutlip also suggested we watch his POV as well.
Okay.
John's moving through the top. There goes the hood.
All good.
So now the question is, of the guys up at the front, we saw Jake get a piece of that, be involved in that a little bit. He's going to restart second. I don't think there's any real damage on his race car. Oh, people are worried about gas out here too, guys. That's something we got to watch now. Getting into these green-white checkers has made gas a worry.
Well, we're already on green-white checkered attempt number 2, which is closer to my prediction of yes.
Well, your prediction was right. As soon as the green flag dropped from the first green-white checker,
Trump, Bodie, and Dominic Wright would be the first candidates. They stopped at lap 35. Jacob Adams on lap 30. Trey Eidson.
that was just very interesting the way all that took place there off of 2.
Yeah.
I would be very curious, like after this is over, to talk to Jake, to talk to Frank, as far as what happened to them off of 2. Did Frank move up thinking they were going to come back, and then he thought he could move back down, and Jake was already there? Did Jake squeeze a little bit more towards the middle, watching the wreck happen? I'm not real sure exactly what happened. But nonetheless, Jake's got to put it behind him. Okay, so here we go. We'll get another look at it. Okay, so yeah, Frank pulls up and then okay, so yeah, Frank was very erratic right there. So Frank sees the wreck start, moves immediately out from behind Scott when Jake is already pushing, trying to help the line move. And when he does that, it just gets off center. There was really nothing Jake could have done at that point. So Frank thought he was doing the right thing by moving up, but the wreck didn't come back. And when he realized the wreck didn't come back, it was too late to just... It's really hard to dart around on the front of somebody's car when you're pushing like that at the front. And that's what it takes to win this race. On a green-white checkered, you're going to be pushing 2, 3, sometimes even 4 deep. And when you get a little erratic like that, trying to make a maneuver, even if it is to miss a wreck, like it's just how close and how tight it is out there.
Yep.
David Tooker's running on the apron. Not sure if he's close on fuel. I know Chad mentioned something about fuel.
Yeah, he was given a warning that if you're running out of gas, get out of the way as safely as possible, basically.
And one thing that was just brought up here is how dark it's getting out here. It is now shaded on the back. You see that?
Yeah, it's Reminding me of the 2013 spring race where it was starting to get really dark when Reagan took the checkered.
Well, so here's the situation. I mentioned earlier that Jacob Adams did not have teammates up here. Well, as we line up on this restart, he has a teammate right behind him in Trey Eitzen. But all is not well because Trey also has to win to get in. They are both in the same boat. How much they work together, I don't know. So we'll see how it shakes out right here as we get ready to go green. Green is out. Trey does not launch very good, but neither does Tyler Fode. Kind of everybody behind. Just let the leaders get out there by themselves.
Yeah, we got Lake Norman versus Shift Esports here leading these first two lines.
Jake running right down against him. He's going to do everything he can to try to keep those guys back there.
Well, the
a lot more help on the bottom.
Wacky. Pushing's
a lot better
cars.
on the bottom. Oh, 4 wide. The 43 is getting shipped to the back.
It's unfortunate for Dom Wright. He was having a great run.
Tyler Fode is clear. Does he pull out? No, he does not. And we are now past the point of no return. White flag is out.
We are 4 wide right now. Oh my goodness.
Matthew Weeks pulls up in front of the third lane.
Whoa!
Big wreck behind him. The whole field.
Goodness. Oh, this might be exactly what the Shift guys needed. They're going to be able to set up a big run here if they can get connected.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Brandon Ultra comes up.
Turned.
It's going to be Scott Crump getting the win over Tyler Fode. So we got Scott Crump, Tyler Fode, David Tooker, Trey Eitzen, Jacob Adams, Brandon Ultra, Brandon Wilkinson, Michael Hosick, Paul Mikolajczyk, and Dominic Wright finishes 10th.
Wow.
The huge one on the backstretch happened. We got so much to break down, guys. On that wreck there on the backstretch. Like, absolutely insane. But Scott Crump on the playoff bubble wins the race, and oh my.
Look at that. This wreck is like 8
ginormous
cars wide. This is one of the biggest wrecks I have ever seen. What is this?
Hey, I want to point out I didn't blink through it.
I don't see a clear path through that wreck either. John Cullip down against the inside wall is going to make it happen. He's going to miss the wreck down against the inside wall.
This is crazy. We need Ray to make a video about this.
So it starts at the front. On the top of 4, they get to connect and then just shoot in there. Nobody's lifting. Cars are everywhere.
Yeah, I almost want to just stop like right when it's at its widest and just actually count how
Look at the 43.
They are.
That 43 gets a top 10 coming through there. He got hung all the way to the back. Was running like 30th off of 2. He's gonna finish 10th.
Yeah, that is. I can't wait to see the onboard of this. This is going to be a wild viewpoint.
We documented how he got hung out. I think he had some damage, and it was really hurting him. So he crosses the line, and he's running dead last here, just right at the very back. He's thinking, oh, man, no shot at anything. They start wrecking. Just bob and weave. Bob and weave.
Wow. Oh, Dom going the right way through that one.
That's all luck, too. There's no real skill there. That's just...
I think living.
That's living on a prayer right there.
That is incredible. My goodness. It's just... the only way you could describe it is you can't use on air. That is unbelievable.
Well, guys, I think we're going to get in one more commercial break, and then we will come back and talk to Scott, Tyler, and I don't even remember who finished third.
David Tooker.
There, David Tooker. So Scott, Tyler, and David Tooker. No real surprises to talk to this week, but we'll be back after the break.
Now let's hear about Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pick group. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big.
Racing isn't easy, but experiencing it is. iRacing puts you in the driver's seat with the industry's leading sim racing game. Drive on laser scan replicas of the greatest racing circuits from around the world. Go head to head against other drivers chosen by skill-based matchmaking to ensure competitive racing at every level. Compete across all your favorite series. In officially licensed cars, engineered to deliver the most accurate driving experience possible. Join a race or host your own with players from across the globe. Race against the computer or in a league with friends. Feel the thrill behind the wheel. Visit iRacing.com.
Now let's hear about Blue Egg Marketing. Rev up your business with Blue Egg, your marketing pick group. Turbocharge your lead generation with experienced drivers that can navigate the competitive track to connecting with your customers. With Blue Egg, you're always in the pole position, leading your brand toward victory lane. Don't spin your wheels, accelerate success with Blue Egg, fueling small businesses to win big.
And welcome back to Talledega, where we have quickly found third place finisher David Tooker. David, I don't think we talked about you hardly at all tonight, other than when you were getting lapped there and you kind of just rode around out there, did what you needed to do, and found yourself here with the top three at the end. So talk to us about your night and how you managed to avoid the chaos.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't really planning on going a lap down. That was just unfortunate. I didn't realize we had a heat event, so as I was gridding up, it was only 50 seconds and not 2 minutes, so I was kind of thrown off by that. But yeah, I mean, it was just at that point just work with Zeus, thankfully, or Weeks, thankfully he also missed grid, so I wasn't by myself. But yeah, I got damaged late on one of the restarts where I think Chad and someone else, they like made contact in the middle and wrecked towards the bottom. I tapped Chad in the front end, and I had all the guys behind me, all my teammates, Wadsworth, Reynolds, Weeks, RC. I had everyone I needed to get in position to win that, and I couldn't lead the line, so bailed to the middle and just kind of found myself running around right there, and then that wreck kind of broke up the front, I would say the front pack, and found myself fifth, and just luck of the draw, really. I mean, yeah, it really no explanation for how we got here. I kind of just didn't really expect to be here, so overall just happy for myself and have some momentum going into the playoffs. That's going to be really nice.
Yeah, and what's your outlook here for the playoffs? You've kind of been quiet most of the season. You've kind of done what you need to do to get in, and of course, we all know what you're capable of. A lot of guys in the playoffs are capable of going on a run and winning 2 or 3 in a row, 3 out of 5. We saw Cutlip most of the season be the guy to beat. So, what is your outlook on the playoffs, and what's it going to take to try not to let that 5 car get on a heater?
I mean, there's from my standpoint, there's really only so much you can do to hold those guys back. I mean, John and Blake Reynolds and Weeks, and I could go on and on. Fody, like there's guys that you just realize that you're gonna beat them when in those races that you don't really think you are, but most of the time you gotta just be prepared to like. And in my position, those guys aren't necessarily my fight. Sometimes they are, depending on the race, like maybe a road course or even short tracks, but mile and a halfs, which is mainly what our league is, I tend to suffer there compared to those guys. So it's just going to be all about consistency for my side. Getting this third place today, that's definitely some momentum going into the playoffs. Not necessarily having the best finishes. I mean, lagged or had some issues at Watkins Glen, so couldn't really capitalize there. But still, I will take this momentum and just try to be as consistent as I have been all season. And maybe if I get some luck my way, I'll grab a win or two. But just looking forward to racing and happy to be here.
All right, David, before we let you go and start looking ahead to the playoffs, who helps get it done for you week in, week out?
I mean, all these Pro Edge Racing teammates that I have for many years, very tight knit group of people, and definitely some additions. Paul and Blake, Gavin's running with us now too. So, and Wadsworth. Like, there's definitely some new faces around, but it's just as tight knit of a group, and love racing with these guys every single weekend or every week. So, shout out to all those guys. Everybody involved with Elite, all of our drivers, admin, Chad for putting this together all the time, all our sponsors involved. Trying to zoom in here. Mark Rebilas Photography, Worldwide Technology Raceway, Blue Egg, 4D Racewear, and last but not least, JD Designs. John is always hooking it up with beautiful paint schemes. Might end up making another Xfinity paint scheme. We'll see how it works out, but love this car and love every single car he's made for me. So if you need a paint scheme that's very high quality and a very reasonable price, definitely hit up John at IMJD Designs. And then also you guys up at the booth for what you're doing for every single week for these broadcasts. I love watching these races back. So thank you for what you do.
Yeah, it's a way better time with me up here than on the racetrack, isn't it?
Not really. I mean, we miss you. We all miss you.
Nonetheless, it's fun to get to watch, and I can't wait to see what you have in store for us in the playoffs, David. Like I said, it's been John's year, so we'll see if you guys can take the fight to him and try to hold him back a little bit and have something for him. But good luck as the playoffs start, and we can't wait to see you next week.
Thank you very much.
All right, James, I think you got half of that teammate duo with you over there.
Yes, sir. Tyler, James in the booth. You got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, first of all, how in the world do you get turned in front of the field and not get absolutely demolished? Take us through what was going through your mind as you got spun around and you see everyone zooming past you.
Oh yeah, I mean, not a whole lot. It happened so fast. I haven't even gone back to see that. I think prior to that, I had a little bit of damage. And talking with Josh, he kind of caught me in that spot, I guess, and it just flipped the car right around. Yeah, I just remember seeing clear track in front of me, and then the next second I was looking at the whole field, and then it 180'd again, and we were driving straight again. So I don't know. It was kind of a lucky spot to spin down through the infield a little bit, and props to everyone for the most part there, just going around. I've never had that, that's for sure. Normally you end up wadded up with like 20 other people when that happens.
Yeah, and take us through the final lap. Did you look in your mirror and see the massive calamity that had taken place right before you guys, right behind you guys in the top 8?
No, I was actually just laughing back here with Scott watching it back with how huge it was. I was pretty much just tunnel visioned onto Scott till we got out of 4 for that whole thing and realized there was only about 8 cars left. And yeah, I was trying to just make sure it was going to be one of us, so I wasn't going to pull out a line till the tri-oval, and we got a bit more of a gap on the pack than I had thought. And hindsight, I probably had more time. I could have got out to his outside a little sooner, and they wouldn't have gotten to us. I was just being a little overly cautious there. I'm just trying to make sure we both didn't get swallowed up. But yeah, props to Scott. I mean, heck of a race. That's his second Dega win in a row now for him. He's done back to back with these this car and track combo. But yeah, exciting finish for sure. Had to make it a close one there with him.
And just let's look forward to next week with the start of the playoffs coming at Portland. What are your thoughts going into it as we start the postseason?
Yeah, Portland's fun. I've done IndyCar and trucks actually this season at that track. Pretty cool. New track to the service. I don't expect to be anywhere as close to the lead as I was tonight, but I think a fifth to seventh run will probably be a good way to start the playoffs right for us. So we'll see. But yeah, definitely a fun track.
Well, another great run for you tonight, Tyler. Any sponsors, plugs, and shout-outs you'd like to give?
Yeah, firstly, just everyone at the team, Lake Norman. This is actually the third straight Xfinity Dega win for us. Looking back at it now, with Scott getting the last 2, so that's cool. Still haven't been able to do one better here, but yeah, always fun running with those guys. Scott, Tate, my dad was there tonight as well, which for a moment there with 10 to go, all 4 of us were up there looking pretty good. But yeah, always fun running with them. John Cutlip with JD Designs for painting all of our schemes, and then all of you guys up here in the booth for running the cameras, doing the admin work, and commentating for us. So appreciate all y'all, and who knows, we might be talking to you next weekend. We'll see.
Well, we appreciate you, Tyler, and here's hoping on that front.
Yes, sir.
All right, back to Chris for our man of the hour.
Yeah, and our man of the hour is not Tyler Fody. It is Scott Crump. Scott came in tonight on that playoff bubble, could have made it on points, knew the win was the only sure thing. You got it done. Talk to us about your race. Talk to us about your night. You had to miss some wrecks, found yourself up the front at the end, and managed to miss all the chaos. So take us through the night.
Yeah, first, just kind of was insane from the start, 3 wide pretty much the whole race, and kind of just stayed laid back for the first half of the race and didn't want to get in the middle, didn't want to get wrecked out early. If I wanted to go out, it was going to be at the end. Yeah, gained all the track position because everybody went in to get fuel, and I stayed out and jumped everybody and got me in the first couple rows. And yeah, every time I went to go past Ethan Burrell there for the lead, the caution would come out. And then Campbell got Burrell to put me out front. And then we had one restart, quick caution. And then that last restart, I had Tyler Fody right there behind me.
Yeah, and Tyler pulled out trying to make that pass. And were you a little worried that the owner was going to take that one out from underneath you there coming off of 4?
I knew it was going to be close. I don't blame him taking out the pass. I don't like it when people just push somebody across the line rather than them trying to win themselves and stuff like that. Because that's what I would definitely do if we had the chance. But yeah, that was. I mean, I knew if I finished second, I was into the playoffs, so I wasn't too worried about that. But anytime you got a chance to win, you rather win.
Yeah, and you got that done, and your owner over there, Tyler Fody, owner and teammate, mentioned that that's 2 in a row at Talledega. Typically, these things are 50-50, so how long do you think this luck stretch will last with you at Talledega?
I don't know. I've had so much bad luck here in the past, so eventually I had to turn around and start coming to positive sides. There's been so many times I came off four, either first or second, and either get wrecked. So finally starting to come around and finish these races at the line.
Well, now that you're in the playoffs, you know, there's been a lot of fast guys. John Cutlip has kind of been the regular season guy. How do you go into these playoffs and attack and try to find a way to consistently beat that 5 car and give yourself a shot to win that title?
I feel like the speed is there. We just hadn't had the luck this year. We've had a lot of bad luck. I've had about 3 or 4 races where I was up there racing right with those guys. So, yeah, hopefully I just need to just be smart. Made some bad choices here in the Xfinity on some decisions and staying out and taking 2 tires and stuff like that. I just need to make some smart calls and just have a mistake-free run, and I'll be there with them.
Well, Scott, before we let you jump out of here and get ready to celebrate that win that you just got and move on to next week, who helps get it done for you week in, week out?
Blue Egg Marketing, Stay Tuned Sports Podcast, JD Designs, Painting the Cars, Lake Norman Motorsports. I couldn't done that without them tonight with Tyler Fody. Frank Fody was up there. Tate Lytle was up there helping us. I think that's all we had tonight. I also like to thank my grandfather for watching all the time. I know he's excited about me winning tonight. And shout out to my wife for letting me race. Shout out to you, Chris, up in the booth, and Huck. Yeah, do a great job, and James. Chad putting on the leg, and everybody else that comes out here and continues to race all the time. It's fun times racing with everybody.
Well, all right, Scott, we'll let you get out of here, get prepared for next week in the playoffs, and hopefully we get to talk to you a lot more here down the playoffs, and you can give this championship a run for its money.
Hopefully.
Well, guys, that was Scott Crump, our winner, and hopefully not the last time that we talk to him this season in Victory Lane. But James, Dave, any final thoughts from you guys tonight?
Yeah, it was definitely one of the quintessential Talledega races there, but man, was that a lot of fun. That final wreck, I don't think any of us will ever forget that. That was just unbelievable.
Yeah, the playoff field's set now, so we go Portland. We go to a road race first. So next Monday, I think Chad's still working on the points. Seth Rawls is going to, even with his 10 points, regardless of. Check our Twitter account, social media for the.
Well, and as for me, my final thought is it was crazy. It was wild. We seen some things we expected to see, seen some things we didn't expect to see. But it was a Talladega race. It was a crazy finish. It was a close finish. A couple teammates came down to the wire. We didn't get that crazy exotic winner. Now it's on to the playoffs, on to Portland, where we will be running the Ethan Stanley Invitational next week. I'm sorry. It could be anybody's race. I shouldn't just give it to him before we get there, but it's going to be fun. It's going to be interesting. It's a shorter track. Portland's one of those short road courses where we could see some contact and somebody could take a swipe there, and lots of craziness could happen next week. So can't wait to get there. Can't wait to see what the playoffs have in store for us. But I'm going to give a shout out to you, Dave, and James up here in the booth. And Dave, everything you do behind the scenes here at ERN. Shout out to Chad, everybody at Blue Egg Marketing, Worldwide Technology Raceway, all the people who help get this thing running and keep this thing moving, and wouldn't have any of this without all of those people. I believe I want to get this in real quick. I believe the Indy 500 is going to be ran on Thursday, correct, Dave? You know anything about that?
Yep, that's correct. Tomorrow night is Carb Day festivities, and then Thursday will be the 500, our Grand Marshal, and giving the command this year, Mark James, our network.
So there it is. Make sure you tune in on Thursday to the biggest iRacing event of the year. That's right, I said it. Come at me if you don't agree. It's going to be the Elite Indy 500. And you never know who might show up, who might be on the racetrack, who might be involved. Going to be a heck of a time, so make sure you tune in on Thursday. But as for us here at Talledega, we are loaded up and headed out, and we will see you next week in Portland.